Respiration, General Science. Important topic for UPSC, SSC, PSC and the coverage from NCERT. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the following topic. Respiration, the catabolic activity. The respiratory organs of different organisms. The aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Human respiration, the movement of diaphragm during inspiration and expiration, and human lungs. The remaining features of respiration will discuss in the part 2nd video. Let's begin with respiration and its some features. Respiration is a universal phenomenon in living organisms which provide oxygen to tissues and remove carbon dioxide. The inhaled oxygen is used to react with nutrients in cells which cause release of energy. That means the biooxidation of organic food inside the cells to produce energy. Respiration is a continuous process. That means there isn't any break amidst this process. And it is a catabolic process in which energy is set free. Catabolism is a destructive phase in where the nutrients are broken, which result in release of energy. Otherwise, the anabolism. Anabolism means it is a constructive phase that helps for growth and development. And metabolism is the sum total of chemical reactions occurring in our body or in any cell of an organism. That is metabolism. It is the sum total of chemical reaction occurring in any cell of organism. And the raw material, the glucose and oxygen, react together and cause the release of energy, and the end product is carbon dioxide plus water. So the energy released here is used to synthesize ATP, which provides energy for different kinds of physical activities. So ATP is act as a fuel which provides energy for different kinds of activities. Look here, these are the respiratory organs of various organisms. Reptiles, that means snake, etc. And in mammals, lungs are the respiratory organ. And in annelid, that means earthworm, etc. And also in amphibians such as frogs, skin is the respiratory organs. It is also called as cutaneous respiration. Amphibians have lungs in the primitive form. Here the rate of oxygen diffusion is very low. So the cutaneous respiration is also found in amphibians. And the arthropod, that insects, centipedes, millipedes, etc. Trachea is the respiratory organs. And in fishes and prawns, gills are the respiratory organ. And the protozoa, respiration takes place through the body surface. Then the two types of respiration, the aerobic and the anaerobic. The aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen. The environmental oxygen reaches the cells in one way or any other way. So the anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. The yeast, bacteria and endoparasites which do not utilize molecular oxygen. In this case, the anaerobic respiration is taking place. It is an incomplete oxidation. It causes the formation of alcohol and lactic acid. So the factor which determines the respiration is whether aerobic or anaerobic is the presence and absence of oxygen. If it is in the presence of oxygen, it means aerobic, and if it is in the absence of oxygen, it is also called anaerobic. Next, respiration in human. The pathway of respiration. First the external nostrils, then to the nasal passage, then to pharynx, trachea, bronchi and lungs. And this pharynx means this is the common part for the digestive and respiratory system. So in the case of digestive system, it leads to the oesophagus. In the case of respiratory system, it leads to the lungs. So in mammals, there is a glottis that is covered with the epiglottis. So mammals are the organisms which chew food. And there is a chance this food particle may enter into the chewed food particle or bolus may enter into trachea. So this epiglottis which prevent the food particle or bolus entering into trachea. And the end part of this system, the alveoli in lungs. First, air enters into the nasal cavity, then passes through the pharynx, then to the trachea, which branches into left and right bronchus, and which rebranches again into bronchioles, then to the alveoli. The air enters the nostrils, then passes through the nasopharynx, then oral pharynx. Through the glottis, it passes into the trachea, the right and left branch of bronchus, from trachea to the right and left branch of bronchus, which branches and rebranches into bronchioles, each at which terminates in a cluster of alveoli. And this alveoli is the place where the actual gas exchange takes place. There are 300 million alveoli in adult lungs, and each has a single, that means there are 300 million alveoli in adult lungs, and the area of this alveoli is same as the single area of tennis court. Now, the movement of muscles, rib and diaphragm during expiration and inspiration. During expiration, it causes the relaxation of muscles, and rib move backward, downward or inward, and the diaphragm move upwards, become dome-shaped. And in the case of inspiration, there is contraction of muscles, and the rib moves outward, forward or downward in the opposite direction during the expiration, and the diaphragm become flat. See. This is the case while resting. This is the case of inspiration. The contraction of muscles and diaphragm become flat. And the expiration causes relaxation of muscles and movement of diaphragm in upwards. Here the contraction of muscles and flattening of diaphragm. Here the relaxation of muscles and the upward movement of diaphragm. Here the expiration and inspiration, the resting case. Once more. Here, during inspiration, it causes the contraction of muscles and diaphragm become flattened. And in the case of expiration, it causes relaxation of muscles and diaphragm move upwards. Next is about human lungs. Lungs are the primary organs of respiration in humans, which are situated within the thoracic cavity of the chest. Lungs are enclosed within a sac called pleural sac. Lungs are surrounded by tube membrane called pulmonary pleurae. The pleural cavity contains pleural fluid. The right lung has 3 lobes and the left has 2. Human lungs are situated within the thoracic cavity of the chest, and they are enclosed within a sac or protected within a sac called pleural sac. Then they are surrounded by tube membrane called pulmonary pleurae. Within the membrane there is pleural cavity that contains pleural fluid. And humans have 2 lungs, the right and left. The right lung has 3 lobes and the left has 2. Lungs are surrounded by tube membrane called pulmonary pleurae. Between the pulmonary pleurae there is pleural cavity that contains pleural fluid. And the right lungs have 3 lobes in human and the left has 2.